When life gets unpredictable, preparation matters. In medicine, it's all about staying alert, ready for whatever comes through the door. On the road, it's no different. That's why Volvo designs vehicles to help anticipate risk, reduce harm, and protect lives. The Volvo XC90's advanced safety systems inspire confident decisions wherever the road takes you. The Volvo XC90, for life. Proud sponsor of the Pit Podcast. Learn more at volvocars.ca/safety.
Montreal Mayor Soraya Martinez Ferrada marks 100 days in office today, February 20th, since being elected and taking over as Montreal's new mayor. She is on the phone. Madam Mayor, thanks so much for being here.
Hello.
Look, I don't even really know where to start. We've had a chance to speak a few times. I want to get to what I just heard on the news, and I know that part of what you talked about before you became elected was homelessness. It was an important issue to you. You're making strides. I want to understand the announcement today because from what I just heard in the clip we played, you're suggesting that the boroughs have to get more involved in this. What do you mean exactly? How would it work?
Well, first of all, we need to have a protocol of encampment that will give the sentiment to neighbors of encampments that we're also taking care of the cohabitation and security that they feel right now that in some areas they don't have. And to do that, we also have to make sure that we are offering services, emergency services in every borough. Like the social net that we give to homeless people has to be in every borough and neighborhood of our city. The protocol encampment will give us some guidelines. Of course, it is something that will evolve, that we'll see how we can make it operational. And of course, we'll have to make sure that make the adjustments when there will be necessary.
Okay, I want to get to the protocol. So I understand in Longueuil, where Catherine Fournier is the mayor, they've laid out a pretty detailed protocol. Are we going to follow that path? What's the plan for Montreal?
Well, we have to get to a point where we'll be more details around the tolerance zones, where they're not allowed, and of course that's where we're going to get to. But you know that the city of Montreal is governed by 19 boroughs. We, work with the boroughs in terms of collaborating on that. We share the protocol to the boroughs' mayors, and many of them gave us their comments. So it's something that will be evolving, and we have to do it together. City of Longueuil and Montreal are governed very differently. Our cities are different. We are very inspired of what they've done in Longueuil, and that's why we made a joint announcement because we collaborated with them in terms of what they have done in the past almost 2 years. Now we have to do the same. We have to do a protocol that will be good for the city of Montreal, and for that we have to do it one step at a time. But it was necessary to announce a new way of doing things in terms of homelessness.
Okay,
today.
I'm going to move on, but I want to ask one other thing just to follow up. So yes, there are 19 boroughs to have to contend with here. You've had discussions with some of the boroughs, mayors, councils. Is there hesitancy from them in getting this done?
No, there isn't. There's a lot of questions, and I understand the questions around if you have a protocol and you saying, for instance, that you want to pick up the garbage, who's going to pay for that? So we need to make sure that eventually the budget that will support the protocol in terms of operating the protocol in all neighborhoods, will be there to support the money that it will be needed to be done. So that's an example. So that's why we have to take it one step at a time. But what we did today, it's unprecedented for a city the size of Montreal, and it's very important to and it's one piece of the whole toolbox that we have put in place for homelessness. I mean, we've put more money. We've created a matching fund for the private sector. We have now a protocol. We have a tactical unit that we put in place to be more agile in terms of decisions. We're, working on transition homes. So we have done a lot in 100 days that honestly, for me, feels more like 6 months. But we have done a lot, and I think the protocol today, for me, was very symbolic to do it on the 100 days to set the tone in terms of what our priority will be as an administration is homelessness, getting the services that citizens need and respond to that, which is potholes, snow removal, garbage removal. Let's be efficient as a city. And to do that, we also need to make sure that we are treating with dignity the people that live on the street right now.
So, everyone's been talking about potholes. I'm sure that's something you could not have imagined that you'd be dealing with when you first took the job. I know you've gone out and got private contractors because, the particular requirements in that first tender were not met. How is that going?
It's going well. I mean, a few of them have started. If you've been on Notre Dame Street today, you actually can see them at work. They are on Notre Dame Street today. As an example, we have given a lot of money not a lot of money, but we have given money to the boroughs in order to also have emergency assessments of the pothole that they need to work. Again, this is a shared responsibility with the boroughs. It's not only the city center that works on that. And so we're partnering in that. And I think the most important thing and the message that I would say to, Montrealers right now that are listening is that spring is coming and the worst is yet to come. And we have to make sure that we're ready for spring in order to fix the potholes that we'll have in the spring. There will be many of them.
And you're confident that we'll be ready?
Well, right now, the answer would be no. We need to make sure that we're going to be ready. And that's one of the things that I'm going to be prioritizing our administration in terms of working a plan for the spring, which is what we'll start doing right away next week, because spring's coming really quickly and we need to be ready. But the issue is that, we don't have all the equipment that we need, and that takes time. And so that's why it's something that we're looking into right now.
I don't have a lot of time. I know you have to move on. Let me ask you a couple of really quick questions, like a lightning round, if you will, okay? You've been in there 100 days, first time as mayor. Biggest surprise so far for you?
Complication of governance in the city.
Meaning?
Meaning we have 19 boroughs, 19 mayors, 19 everything. We need to be working more collaboratively in order to give the same quality of service to all citizens. In every borough, they deserve to have the same quality of service. And I think we have right now, that's not what we have as a city.
So it's taking you longer because of the complications of the way the city runs.
It takes longer, and it's not the same. And a citizen that lives in Montreal North or in Saint Michel deserves to have the same service that somebody lives in a $2 million home in Outremont.
Okay.
And I think that's at the basic. There's an inequity in terms of citizens that we need to address. And I think for me, that's very important that we need to address that as the city of Montreal.
My next question was going to be biggest disappointment. I don't know if it's too early to ask that or not.
Well, biggest disappointment, I think, of course, again, if you have, a city that's complicated in terms of complex, more than complicated, complex in terms of governments, well, you want to go faster. And sometimes the rhythm at the ones that I want to go, it's not the one that the city is ready to do because many, many, many issues. But that would be my biggest disappointment coming from somebody that, want to get things done. Sometimes I have to respect that there's things that take time. Council, municipal council is once a month. So if I can be ready for the month, I have to wait another month. So that's one of the things that I think, in terms of wanting to be more efficient, it is something that we have to, we'll live with it.
What about negotiating, I guess, with a provincial government? How difficult is that, or how difficult is that? Did you think it would be this much?
No, I think we have a good conversation with the government of Quebec. What I've said this week at the CMM, which is I'm president of 82 municipalities as their representative, I think, I wish that the government of Quebec would be more collaborative in terms of sitting the cities at the table around issues that we share and that we can actually be partners in order to fix issues more quickly. Because we coordinate them with the government of Quebec, and hopefully we'll get there. In some issues we should hopefully get there.
Last thing, you also mentioned before you began, one of the things in your campaign when you talk about big city, making the administration smaller, right? And you've already said 1,000 jobs to be cut over 4 years. Yep. How's that going? Well,
we announced 250. We already cut 7 managerial positions at the high management of the city, which is the signal that we wanted to give to the administration that we need to lean more the city in order to be more agile and more efficient with, in terms of decision making. And I think that's what we started doing, and I think it was very clear that that's the path and the objective of our administration.
So already 250 the jobs cut over the ones you say you're going to cut over 4 years.
This year,
okay.
Yes.
Someone just texted in, can the mayor ask the mayor what she plans to do with illegal Airbnbs? Is that a provincial issue or a municipal issue?
It's both. It's both because we need to make sure that we're working on making sure that in the city of Montreal, we can ban the commercial rents of Airbnbs and short-term leases. But don't, citizens, like people, have the right to rent their homes. It is, a source of revenue that could be interesting, and also a way of tourists to live in our city differently than being in hotels. But the most important thing is that we have to make sure that the commercial short-term leases go back to the market of housing so we can address the issue of the housing crisis that we have right now.
Last question really quick. What's been the best part of the job so far?
Being a Montrealer, living in this city, and being mayor of a city that I love. I wake up every morning loving this job. I chose to come here, to come to the city and help, and that's what I'm determined to make a difference. And I'm very open to criticism. I'm not scared of that. I get it. This is what, I've been in Montreal for the past 40 years. I know how it works. But Montrealers need to know that I'm determined to do the job, and I'll do to the best of my abilities, and to always make it better for us as citizens of the city.
Mayor, I always appreciate the time. I thank you so much, and congratulations, 100 days, and hope we get to speak soon.
Yes, thank you so much.
Take good care.
I'm Dylan Playfair.
And I'm Tyler Smith.
We're putting loneliness in the penalty box by talking to some of our favorite athletes about the importance of friendship.
This is Bromance.
Bromance is brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian-owned and operated. Charm has been part of your love stories and bromances for over 50 years. And you can find Bromance on the iHeartRadio network or wherever you get your podcasts.